we return to the Red Strings Club. Can I complain about the autosaving? Could be a bit better about that. I had to play through that whole bit again where she came in, we had chat, I had to explain about the drink, blah 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 blah. I want to clear something up, because it sounds like, at least to me listening back in those last couple episodes, I was bitching about the game a whole lot. I want to make it clear that's not... I was being kind of hard on the game. I like what they're doing here. I like the bartender. I like his boyfriend. I like our robot here. I like this woman we're talking to. I didn't like that hacker. And personally, I think the story of evil corporation, cyberpunk future hacker thing, I think that's overplayed and a cliche. That's me personally. I am enjoying this game. I just want to make that very clear. I'm not ragging on this game from a place of hate. It's just a cliche. And I was sort of hoping it would be different from that, and it might be. Who knows? Let's see where we're going with this. This game has my attention, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Why do you need information dealing side hustle when you make cocktails as good? I'm telling you, you should be a world-famous bartender. Glad you like it. She seems to be in a good mood. What should I start with? Okay, so we need to figure out what's social psych welfare, and what did I hit? I didn't hit her fear, I hit her sympathy. Okay. What's the mirror neuron algorithm? When do they plan to execute this? Ask that first, then figure out there. What role does Akara play in this? Why is Supercontinent doing this? Is it legal? Okay. Tell me, just get right in on the death. What information do you want from me? What have you been working on lately? Feign worry about personal issues, serving our drink. We touched upon sympathy, so let's go for she was my friend angle. Tell me about Ariande's death. So you already know who it was. Well, it's my job. I called you hoping you'd tell me something I don't know. What don't you know then? Why? Why did she have to be silenced? I feel like those are... what was she doing there? I know what she was doing there. I got that from her. Silenced makes it sound like I know she was assassinated. Why was she killed? Might have been a corporate accident. Who knows? She infiltrated a private clinic that literally advertises its deadly security measures. Supercontinent ought to protect their clients while they're vulnerable. What did she expect? Well, touché. There wasn't any other way of disabling her except killing her. A security AI judged her critical menace to patients' well-being. I worked on the... She was, actually. I worked on the security system myself. Trust me, I didn't witness it. But I'm sure it was justified. If you say... To be fair, she was fucking around with people. They went in expecting perfectly... I paid for this upgrade, and they got not the upgrades they paid for. What were the conditions that allowed execution? Can someone force the system to kill? Why do I feel like you're lying to me? It's not accuser of anything yet. Tell me about the system. How does the system decide to kill rather than neutralize? Told you, it allows execution if it finds critical menace to the patient's well-being. How is killing Ariande a better method of protecting clients and putting her to sleep? I've talked to the politicians and Supercontinent executives, not me. As far as I know, it's meant as a dissuasion. If intruders are known to be sedated instead of killed, security system wouldn't be much of a deterrent. It certainly does pose more of a risk if they're willing to kill as opposed to sedate. I wonder how that's legal. I mean, she was trespassing and fucking around with systems. I'm sure Supercontinent lawyers have it covered. Switch sides and join the core life, Donovan. Corporate life, I imagine. It's always going to be the winning side. Where's the fun in that? No thanks. Fine, do you want to talk... What do you want to talk about? Okay. Well, didn't learn anything. Although I didn't ask her anything in particular. What have you been working on lately? How have you been? What have you been working on lately? Is an official inquiry, or are you interested in small talk? Depends on what you're working on. I'm sincerely interested in how you're doing. Oh, don't be so oily. Sorry, occupational habit, but seriously, are you okay? Not at my peak. Too much going on, but you don't have to worry about me. I do love the soundtrack in this game. You know, the information broker thing is just a side business. As the Red Strings Club bartender, my true calling is to heal souls. What a good Samaritan you are. But don't sweat it, I swapped my soul for a brain processor a long time ago. Nothing to heal here. Gaining nothing! about personality issues. I don't know how that would achieve whatever. Well, she's sympathetic towards me, right? Because of the drink? And whatever, we'll just try everything. So, what information do you want from me? As I said, it's a tough nut to crack, and by tough I mean dangerous. I figure there's never been a problem for you. Nothing can get me as long as I run the Red String Club. Fire away. I want to know who the CEO of Supercontinental Ltd is. Come again, don't you work for them? Yeah. Can't you just Google it? It's a good question, and I like that they acknowledge just Googling it. What you'll find online is Supercontinent CEO is Jack B. Gaynor. What you'll also see is that he hasn't made a public appearance in 2 years. You're implying CEO has been supplanted. I would have said supplemented, but I think that word was very clearly supplanted. That's one hypothesis. The fact is that no one's seen him for a long time, and that lately Supercontinent philosophy and methods have changed dramatically. They've become a bit more aggressive. Okay. New fact. Who is the CEO? I'll look into that. Okay, so are these objectives facts? They plan to propagate with a mirror neuron algorithm. Johann Seftis is Supercontinent's COO. Adrian Ferguson is the CFO. And Supercontinent has been more aggressive as of late. Okay. One would imagine Johanna Seftis would be a prime candidate. Let's feign worry real quick. Listen, Anne, I'm worried about something. Do you mind if we invert roles for just a minute and you listen to my problems? This is a new one. Go ahead. I wouldn't miss a chance to learn more about my mysterious bartender. Thank you. It's about Brandy's. I still don't know how to pronounce that name. He got in trouble again? He's always in trouble, but that's not what worries me. Lately he's been acting moody and depressed, sometimes even aggressive. It is strange. A guy with so many implants as him, I guess he'd have some stress regulators. God, there's implants to regulate stress? That's literally all you need to capitalize on the fucking millennial market. Kills your stress. Yep. Fucking that'll cure it. Do what I do. Not let it get to you. And I'm aware that doesn't work for everyone. This is more of like me being a personal jaded cynic, which is my own set of problems I need to deal with. But whatever. I sort of was going for a joke, and I think I got muddled there in the way, so let's just move it. What is... bathroom? Ah, shit, I didn't read that. Hey, Donovan, it's really weird to see you so concerned so openly. This must be grave. Listen, don't worry. I'm really surprised Brandis is acting this way. But my work will soon make everything alright. Your work? What are you working in? Count this as payment for the job. I want you to do it. And please keep this information as confidential as possible. Good thing I asked about this later. You realize you're talking to an information broker. I'm dead serious here. If this leaks to the wrong ears, I could be in danger. Don't sell it cheap, at least. Fair enough. I'm well aware of what information can do. I'll keep you safe. Listen, Brandis' personality issues will be totally solved. SPW is taking care of everything. You mean social psyche welfare? Should Donovan already know about that? Who the fuck is leaking this info? I don't think it leaked. I'm just, too good an information dealer. Probably the only one who knows outside Supercontinent. So you got it from someone on the inside. That's not what I said. You know I never reveal my sources. That's also why you're safe talking with me. I've never really met the information broker who's so open with an information broker that it's like, yes, I'm going to tell your secrets, but don't worry, you'll be safe. Huh, if you say so. Alright, so if you already know about the project, you can rest assured. I'm not very aware of the details. But say, fine, I can fill you in. I'm the director, after all. You've got nothing to fear. Tell me more about social psychic welfare. I think we're good for now. Maybe another drink after this. Tell me more about social psychic welfare. Guess there's no way back with you now, so I'm going all in. Are you ready? Shoot. Social psychic welfare is the greatest revolution in the area of human comfort. We've all been working for a long time in a science system that always keeps the user at their best. SPW is able to tell apart feelings like depression, anxiety, and rage, and keeps them in check using only power of your own psychology. Got information, nice. It's all natural, so no secondary effects. Won't it make you stop being you? Isn't this going to affect creativity? Sounds like mind control. I think it's all a little bit unnatural. I feel like the last two are sort of... She still has fear, and we didn't address fear. We addressed sympathy. So I feel like the last two are probably a rockier road. Sounds like a mind control device. Won't that affect creativity? I think that's a nice middle-of-the-road option. Isn't SPW going to affect creativity? I hope so. What? Depression as a source of inspiration is just an unhealthy myth. I tend to agree with that, but okay. Maslow's pyramid, baby. To achieve self-realization, to fully embrace creativity, you have to be at peace. I don't believe that's true. I don't think depression's the way to go, but I do think you can draw on your own personal experiences and mindsets and create something. Depression's probably not healthy, but drawing on a certain amount of anxiety, if you can channel that into creating something, you know, that's good. You know, I'm not saying a crippling amount that stops you from going outside, but, you know, like, it's not the worst thing in the world if you don't feel like calling up a restaurant or anything and ordering some food. You know, and again, if you can harness that and channel it, then, yeah, alright, it'd be nice if you could call up a restaurant, but what you're creating might be more important than that, and if it works for you, then it's fine. I'm not gonna step in and say, grr, you can't be like that, change your ways. Adapt around. Accept these people into your lives despite these faults. There's certain, like I said, there's obviously limits. You need to draw a line. You know, if the anxiety is so bad they can't leave the house, then yes, alright, there needs to be, something needs to change here. But if it's just very mild anxiety and they can still harness that to be creative, who cares? It works for them. If they desperately want to change, then that's different, but if they're fine with their current setup, don't go planting robot nanomachines in their head to change that. I feel like I'm on, you know, some sort of big soapbox here, but the bottom line is don't put machines in your brain. Period. You don't have to be depressed to write a dark tale. You don't have to hate to draw violence. That's true, but again, it could help. Art is an emotion through a filter of calm focus. Okay, but what experience is the artist supposed to distill if they haven't felt anything before? Correct, Donovan. Oh, but haven't we all felt enough already? No! There's so much left to... That's a stupid argument. Haven't we all felt enough already? What about new generations? That's obviously the more logical argument. I also find that other point to be incredibly useful as well. It's like there's so much left to feel. Life, you know, a human is a sum of their experiences and memories and feelings. I suppose Supercontinent plans to push SPW to the whole population, so if the kids are granted everlasting happiness from birth, what are artists supposed to distill? I don't see the problem. First of all, it's the government who will determine the minimum age to benefit, but in any case, art doesn't exist to amuse you. I feel like a lot of art at its core is maybe not amuse, but at least, you know, entertain or capture your attention for a while. Other art is just made because the artist wants to express themselves, but, you know, they also show this art, one would imagine. And that's healthy. They want the world to see what they've created and worked on and slaved over. It is but a reflection of the times. If humanity evolves, it's only natural that art evolve with it. If, with SPW, we're entering an era of art marked by celebration, so be it. You've really been drinking your own bathwater, huh? I don't understand why you're so radically against total fucking happiness, man. Do you just need to drop the F-bomb randomly there? It feels odd, you know? I feel like you can't really write... With the exception of a character just going, oh fuck, when something bad happens, I feel like it's very difficult to write swears into natural dialogue, you know? And this is a prime example. Against total fucking happiness, man. It just feels jarring. And I'm not I imagine I'm going to speak for Donovan here. I'm not against total happiness. I'm against artificially created total happiness. It's being human isn't about hating, crying, or fearing. And loving and laughing. That is true. And ephemeral... I'm just going to ignore it. Ephemeral euphoria. Yeah, that's also a huge part of it, you know. If everyone wants to be happy, yeah, sure. I still think a certain amount of chaos and suffering is necessary in a life, you know. I haven't been happy my entire life. I know people who haven't been happy their entire life. But I think an important part of it is growing from those situations. I guess you have to wait and see before you realize how good this is for all of us. Given I don't have implants, you want to talk more about SPW? I guess I could keep prying here. I feel like this one won't get me anywhere. I think it's all a bit unnatural. Now you're talking like an old-timer. No, that was the mind control device argument. Do you know how many times the argument has been wielded against progress? Isn't progress, it's de-evolution. This is not the same. Depends how you define progress. But I'll play it cool with her. Back off a bit. It did sound like Grandpa. You said it. But yeah, unnatural is not the best argument to use against this process. We're not burning witches anymore. Yeah, stop rubbing salt in the wound. Want to know more about it? Won't it make you stop being you? It's not going to affect individuality. It's only natural to be scared of the prospect of unlimited happiness. But this is less intrusive than the average antidepressant that the city's inhabitants swallow every day. So saying removing an important part of our mood spectrum isn't going to change our personalities. I didn't say that. So it will help us access our better selves. Or do you enjoy being sad? I like complaining, so actually, yes. I wouldn't like to lose my sadness. I wouldn't like to lose my sadness. Why not? Sadness is not ugly. I've been a bartender for a couple of decades now. So, I'm gonna say... a couple of decades. That's at least 20 years. Meaning he's gotta be in his 40s. Because I doubt he was a bartender, like, at 13. I've gotten to witness innumerable forms of sadness right there where you're sitting. And it can be a beautiful thing. I'm not saying it's healthy or good to be sad, but I do think it's important. You know, you have to... Again, it's all about growing from that experience. You move beyond it. You better yourself as a person. You learn from the sadness what you can do, A, to overcome it, and B, avoid this sadness in the future. Hopefully. Again, I'm aware this doesn't work for everyone. This is... All of what I'm saying is a me personally thing. I want to make that clear before anyone gets on my case about this. It's moving, it draws us all together, it keeps us thinking and wishing. So you actively work to suppress it, just feels like a crime against humanity. Wow. I'm not ready to debate such poetry. Give it some thought, please. Oh, that's good. She doubted herself. I will, I promise. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss? I've had enough of it. I'm really excited about this. So, you're not a fan of it. Not right now, but just accept it. This is the future. No. The present. Don't let it get under your skin or you ruin the fragile, handcrafted happiness that's yours. I'm gonna serve you another drink there, darling. Let me fix you another drink. Oh, is this? Sympathy, fear. Sure, let's hit upon her fear, why not? Whoops. Have a little bit of this action. Okay, good enough. I think a little bit more... just a splash of this. There we go. And some vodka. It's interesting to me that this guy has, like, no mixers in his drinks. It's all just different types of alcohol, which is not the healthiest of drinks. You know, most alcohols are like rum and coke, or, you know, a screwdriver, which is vodka and orange juice. You mix it with non-alcoholics. Really sour. You don't like it? Yeah, sorry, listen. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all this. Do you mind if we do this quick? Of course, no problem. Fear seems taken hold of her. Okay, so, yeah. Doing this quick. Do you mind asking me... Yeah, so she went into detail on the stuff I need to know about, but now she wants to be quick about this. Do you mind me asking why you want to know what Supercontinental CEO is? I told you Jack B. Gaynor has been supplanted or something. Supplemented is what it should be. Is it? Yeah, okay, we got that. He's still on record as the official CEO, but everything's changed so much, I'm sure he can't be in charge. I'm afraid for my life. The Proxima girl, even if it was accidental, hasn't been the first death in the last few months. That's grim. I've always loved Supercontinental's goals and motto, fighting for social welfare. Is that really their motto? It's not a very catchy motto. It doesn't roll off the tongue. That's just marketing, though. And it's weird, because they're still doing that. It's only that now they're doing it at any cost. There have been more deaths? What do you mean by at any cost? Wait, you're saying there have been more deaths lately? Yeah, I think that's the pressing issue. Well, there haven't been any assassinations, but But, you know, some staff committed suicide allegedly because of stress, and there have been at least 2 fatal accidents among the top brass in the last 2 years. But I think that might be a pattern, might be making a pattern of a series of regrettable accidents. Stress can do that. Okay, let's stick to the facts. The company's policy and strategy have changed radically over the last 2 years. Death among employees has gone up 243% and 200% among executive branch. Numbers are exact. Alright, that is a little suspicious. Now you're sounding paranoid. Plus, no one's seen Gainer since these changes started. Hey, you don't need to convince me further. I'll look into it. Donovan, if I hadn't removed the part of my brain that processed love, I'd swear I'd fall in love. I'd fall for you every time. Why would you remove the part of your brain that processes love? That's mind-bogglingly dumb. Like, sadness, alright, that at least has negative connotations. And again, I haven't changed my mind about that. I'm just saying I can kind of see where you're coming from. Love? You know, unless you're one of those weird robot people who's like, it only gets in the way, I must focus on my career. It's really, like, kind of weird that you would ever... I don't know how you do it, but I always leave the club shaking. Starting to think you're putting something in my drinks. Just alcohol. Yeah, literally nothing else. But I'm glad I can get you through your ice-cold processor and stir those artificial feelings for you. Hey, they're not artificial, they're just upgraded, sweetheart. Emotion can be pitiful for a scientist like me. Better to have them check in. Not live more dangerously, Diane. Inspiration plays a big part into being a memorable scientist. Maybe I'll just make sure to come back to the club anytime I need some old mojo. I should be leaving now. Oh, I can't ask about the other? Oh. Please call me as soon as you get something on the CEO. I wanted to ask her about the other things. Damn. Thank you for coming. See you next time, Diane. Okay, Akara, listen. Never again say a customer's name. Why not? Because it makes them feel uncomfortable and paranoid. I was taught that repeating someone's names builds trust and familiarity. Yeah, but the Red String Club is a haven of sorts. My clients value their anonymity. If you blab their names right when they come in, they'll think I told you all about them. And you're supposed to be a mere trainee. Leave the name dropping to me. Understood? I'm sorry, Donovan. Don't sweat it, just keep it in mind, Akara. It won't happen again, Donovan. Very well, Akara. Let's focus your aptitudes instead of weaknesses. Get any interesting insights from our elegant whatever? Informant, I think? Indeed. However, I don't see any easy way to properly communicate them, so I'd like to propose a game. A game? You're full of surprises. Play is one of the most primal human devices of learning and development. That's true. Transmitting vast amounts of data I've gathered from your conversation with Diane is impossible, so I've designed a process to reach your own conclusions. Moreover, I get to better understand you so we can improve as a team. Sounds like a pro-HR talk. But sure, I'm in. How do we play? I'm going to ask you a series of questions. 10 to be exact. I have my own answers, but I am most interested in your input. When we are finished, I'll let you know how many of them you got right. If you score at least 7 out of 10, I'll grant you a new skill? What? Skill? They use the AI of an RPG villager to build you. The hell can you even do that? The aim of that rewards proves very dull, and yes, I can grant you something to improve your bartending skills. Why don't you just give it to me now? I'm designed to make you happy, a much different thing than granting your every wish. Sometimes I feel like you're a dumb mannequin, but now, I believe the very devil could be running through your circuits. I like this robot. She has some sass. Shall I begin? It's exciting. You're more twisted than I thought. We're gonna check out this game when we come back. Thanks so much for watching. I have been Tokenlad. Talk to you later, shoot negotiators, and see you around Ass Clowns.